Hi guys! Today I am going to report some parts of the chapter 9 which includes reading and discourse. So first, we have reading. So reading is the process of looking at series of written symbols and getting meaning from them. When we read, we use our eyes to receive written symbols like letters, punctuation marks, and spaces. And we use our brain to convert them into words, sentences, and paragraphs that communicate something to us. So reading involves perception, language, memory, thinking, and intelligence. So sa reading guys, for a person to read, kailangan iyahang eyes kay syempre function kay dili man ta makabasa if ang ato ang eyes kay wala naga-function. Also, in reading, we use our brain kay para ma-convert na to ang atong ginabasa into the words, sentences, paragraphs, and of course, para makarelate ta kay diba, ana sila, pag nagabasa ka, dapat gina-reflect nimo sa imong sarili ang imong ginabasa para mas maintindihan nimo. So, reading is a process of looking at a series written symbols and getting meaning from them. So, mao gani na, kailangan nato magbasa para mas madagdagan ato ang knowledge and dapat para mas maka gain og mga lessons from the series or paragraphs or unsa man ato ang ginabasa. So also, when we read, we use our eyes to perceive written symbols like letters, punctuation marks, and spaces. So pag nagabasa ta kay dili naman words atong makita na ay mga symbols like mga dots, mga comma, punctuation. So diha na to ma-relate if unsa tong ginabasa, if sad ba siya or happy or kailangan nimo mag-stop kay mag-base ta sa mga symbols. So reading involves perception, language, memory, thinking, and intelligence. Of course guys, pag basa ta, kailangan to perception. Also language kay diba dili lang man Tagalog atong ginabasa, dili lang pud siya English. So, kailangan na to nag-involve siya o language. Next, memory. Of course, ato ang binabasa, kailangan po nato siya tandaan para sa ato kay maka-gain ta og knowledge from our series or unsa ato ang ginabasa kay para matandaan nato kay for the future magamit nato na siya. Thinking and intelligence is also involved in reading kay of course pag magbasa ta naman jud tayo gagamit jud tag intelligence and thinking. So next, when reading is a problem, so we have here dyslexia. So, it is a learning disorder that involves difficulty in reading due to problems identifying speech, sounds, and learning how they relate to letters and words like decoding. So, also, reading disability, dyslexia affects areas of the brain that process language. So, guys, ang dyslexia kay kanang difficulty sa pagbasa. Also, makitaan po siya og kanang difficulty gud sa pag-analyze and pag-identify sa mga speech sounds. Like, kanang picture sa gilid, sa left side, kay ang 1 plus 5 is, kanang simple lang kaayo siya sa normal na tao. Sa normal na tao without dyslexia. So, sa pika side, sa right side, kay, diba, ang 1 plus 5 kay nagbaliktad, tapos, kanang dugay kaayo niya ma-analyze. So, mao na ang pinagkaibahan sa naay dyslexia and wala. Na siya difficulty ba sa sa reading and apil na ang pag-identify sa mga speech sounds. So, next, people who have dyslexia has difficulty in hearing, reading, and comprehending text can suffer greatly in a society that puts a high premium on fluent reading. So, dili siya makasabay sa mga normal good na tao na makabasa, maka-relate din sa ilang mga gina-read. So, ang person nga nagasuffer ana kay ano siya, makitaan po siya difficulty sa pag-analyze, sa pag-comprehend og mga text. So mao na siya ang kaibahan. So next, so we have here several different processes may be impaired in dyslexia. We have phonological awareness, phonological reading, phonological coding, and lexical access. So we have phonological awareness, which refers to awareness of the sound structure of spoken language. A typical way of assessing phonological awareness is through phoneme deletion task. Children are asked to say, for example, goat without T. Other task is used as phoneme counting. Children might be asked how many different sounds are there in the word fish. So in the word fish, we have 3 different sounds, the E and sh. So the correct answer is 3. So in phonological awareness, it's the individual's awareness of phonological structure and sound structure of words. So phonological awareness is important and reliable predictor of later reading ability and has therefore been focused much on research. So next we have phonological reading, which entails reading words in isolation. Teachers sometimes can call these skills as word decoding or word attack. For measurement of skill, children might be asked to read words in isolation. Some of the words might be quite easy, others difficult. Individuals with dyslexia often have more trouble recognizing the words in isolation than in context. When given context, they use the context to figure out what the word means. So in phonological reading, magamit sila og word attack. Like word attack strategies, guys, ba, like ang start with the first letter and say each letter sound out loud. So next is blend the sounds together and they try to say the word. Next is look at the word to make a connection between its spelling and its sounds. And last days are substituting another sound. So ganyan ang word attack. Para mahatagan nila og focus yung mga ang pagbasa sa word nga ginagamit ang correct pronunciation. So ingana ang word decoding or word attack. So next, we have phonological coding. In working memory, this process involved in remembering strings of phonemes that are sometimes confusing. It might be measured by comparing working memory for confusable versus non-confusable phonemes. For example, a child must be assessed for how will he or she remembers as the string T, B, Z, V, G versus the string O, X, R, Y, Q. Most people will have more difficulty with the first string, but individuals with dyslexia who have problems in phonological coding in working memory will have it particular. So sa phonological coding yun, mas dali dira ma-identify if a person kay na ay dyslexia, kay mas malisidan siya mag-assist or malisidan siya remember sa mga string na gihatag sa iyaha as activity. So next, lexical access refers to the one's ability to retrieve phonemes from long-term memory. The question here is whether one can quickly retrieve a word from long-term memory when it is seen. For example, if you see the word pond, do you immediately recognize the word as pond, or does it take you a while to retrieve it? So sa lexical access na po, guys, dira na tumabalaan if a person can easily recognize or analyze word. Halimbawa, ipakitaan kag word na pond. Di ba if wala kay reading problems or comprehension problems, ma-recognize man dayon nimo na kana siyang word kay pond siya, ano siya, anyong tubig, kanang maana nimo siya, kanang makita sa imong environment, diba? Dira nagaano ang mga isda. So pag ana, dali lang di mo siya ma-analyze. Sa person with dyslexia, malisudan sila mag-analyze. Bawa maano sila word na pond, marag di pa nila mag-gets na mauna siya ang word. Pero always na to mapabasa sa ilaha, brag dili lang yun nila dili nila ma-analyze dayon na kana siya ang ginaingo, ang meaning ato na word na ginabasa nila. So we have here the two types of dyslexia: developmental dyslexia and acquired dyslexia. So developmental dyslexia is genetic. The most well-known kind of developmental dyslexia, which is difficulty in reading, that starts in childhood and typically continues throughout adulthood. Most commonly, children with developmental dyslexia have difficulty in reading the rules that relate letters to sound. So developmental dyslexia is believed to have both biological and environmental causes. So a major dispute in the field is the role of each. So people with developmental dyslexia often have been found to have abnormalities in certain chromosomes, most notably 3, 6, and 15. So developmental dyslexia, guys, di ba may mga tao na gipanganak as dili sila normal, like kanang naay mga kulang sa chromosomes, mga ana. So meron na sila mga na sila developmental kanang disability or ana kanang mental katong mental disability. So kana sila ng mga tao kay nagasuffer po sila og dyslexia, kay dili sila easily makabasa, maka-analyze, and maka balo sa word na ilahang ginabasa. So also developmental dyslexia kay genetic siya ba, kay kato gani gipanganak siya as na siya sakit daan, so nakuha na niya from her mother or her father. Kay since pag anak sa iyaha, dito na nag-start ang iyahang dyslexia. So also developmental dyslexia is believed to have both biological and environmental causes. So sa environmental causes, guys, kay pag bata pa lang niya, wala siya kayo ginatudluan or ginhatagan og time para magpabasahon siya sa mga other words. So tung nagdako na siya, tung dito pa siya makitaan na siya og symptoms or kanang sa dyslexia nga di siya maka-analyze, di siya makabasa. So kana pod ang isa ka factor na maka-cause of dyslexia sa developmental dyslexia na type. So next is the acquired dyslexia, resulting from a traumatic brain injury or disease, which is typically caused by traumatic brain damage, and a perfectly good reader who experienced brain injury may acquire dyslexia. So halimbawa, guys, na-disgrasya ang isa ka tao, pero before atong iyang accident, kay katong tao kay mahilig magbasa, mahilig siya mga books. So after the accident, kay naglahi ba, nagbaliktad ba, hindi na siya kabalo magbasa, hindi na siya kabalo mag-analyze iyang mga ginabasa, kay mao na ang na-cause kay na siya brain injury, mao na ang nag-acquire sa dyslexia sa iya. So the person's brain had developed the ability to function in a typical way, but some sort of events such as an illness or head injury has caused damage to the brain that impairs that function. So the exact type of impairment and prognosis of recovery is variable because there is an essentially unlimited number of